My name is Ethan Cross, and I still refuse to fly without noise-canceling headphones because of what I heard that night. Imagine sitting on a plane at 35,000 feet, suspended between darkness and clouds. Imagine believing you're surrounded by hundreds of people, yet feeling completely alone. Now, imagine hearing a baby cry where no baby exists. At first, I thought it was exhaustion playing tricks on me. Long flights do that to your brain. They blur reality, they stretch time, they make ordinary sounds feel unnatural. But this wasn't ordinary. This cry wasn't distant, it wasn't muffled, it was sharp, wet, desperate. The kind of cry that claws into your chest, the kind that demands attention. It echoed softly through the cabin like it had nowhere to go. I remember holding my breath without realizing it. I remember scanning the rows ahead of me. No bassinets, no parents rocking a child, no tiny feet dangling from seats, just sleeping passengers and dim overhead lights. The cry came again, closer this time, right above my head. That's when I realized something was wrong. Babies don't cry from ceilings, and they don't cry in empty air. Whatever was making that sound wasn't supposed to be there. The flight had departed just after midnight, a long-haul route meant for sleeping, not conversation. Most passengers had blankets pulled up to their chins. The cabin lights were low, bathing everything in a dull amber glow. Engines hummed steadily beneath us like a giant heartbeat. I had my eyes closed when the first cry slipped through the noise. At first, I ignored it. Babies cry on planes all the time, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened my eyes and turned my head. No one nearby was awake. No one was shifting or shushing a child. The cry came again, sharper. I leaned into the aisle and looked both ways. Row after row of adults. No strollers, no diaper bags, no infant seats. I stood up and checked the aisle behind me. Still nothing. The sound returned, now trembling with urgency. It felt closer, like it was circling. My skin prickled under my sweatshirt. I flagged down a flight attendant. She listened, brow furrowing. Then she checked her tablet. "There's no baby on this flight," she said quietly. Her voice shook just enough to scare me, because she heard it too, and she didn't know what it was. The crying grew louder, as if offended by being acknowledged. Passengers began stirring, lifting their heads, whispering. A man across the aisle asked if someone had brought a hidden infant on board. Another woman swore the sound was coming from above her seat. The flight attendant returned, now visibly tense. She listened again, then swallowed hard. The cry shifted locations mid-sob. One moment it was behind me, the next it was 2 rows ahead. It didn't echo naturally, it moved. I felt it directly above my seat, vibrating through the plastic ceiling panel. Against every instinct I had, I stood up. My hands shook as I reached for the overhead compartment. When I opened it, the crying stopped instantly. The compartment was empty. No bag, no blanket, no speaker. When I closed it, the crying resumed behind me. A woman gasped. Someone muttered a prayer. The sound was now unmistakably crawling forward. Not walking, crawling. Every few seconds, it shifted one compartment closer. The air felt heavy, like pressure before a storm. I could feel eyes on me from every seat. The crying reached my row again, louder than before, angrier, like it knew I was listening. That's when I noticed the ceiling panel above my seat wasn't perfectly smooth. There was a faint fog beneath the plastic. Condensation, I told myself. But then it pressed outward. A tiny handprint appeared. Fingers splayed unnaturally wide. A woman screamed. The baby cried once more directly above my head. I raised my hand slowly, terrified of what would happen if I touched it. When my fingers brushed the panel, the crying stopped instantly. The handprint remained. Passengers stood now, pointing, panicking. Another handprint appeared farther down the aisle, then another. Small impressions moved along the ceiling like something crawling upside down. Flight attendants shouted for everyone to sit down. No one listened. Someone claimed they saw footprints forming above the compartments. Tiny, bare, wrong. The plane jolted slightly, sending a ripple of fear through the cabin. The crying resumed briefly, softer now, almost relieved. Then silence fell, a thick, unbearable silence. The handprints faded slowly, like breath on glass, but not completely. They lingered as pale smudges, as proof. When we landed, emergency crews boarded the plane. No explanation was given, and no one laughed. Authorities searched the aircraft from cockpit to cargo hold. They found nothing unusual. No animals, no devices, no signs of tampering. Maintenance claimed the ceiling panels were sealed tight. The flight crew avoided eye contact with passengers. Several people refused to disembark at first. I stayed behind, staring at the panel above my seat. The faint outline of a hand was still there. Security told me it was residue from temperature changes. They didn't believe their own words. I spoke to other passengers in the terminal. At least 6 heard the crying clearly. 3 saw the handprints. 1 swore she felt something brush her hair. The airline offered refunds and hotel vouchers. No one mentioned the incident publicly. No reports were filed. No statements released. But weeks later, I found online forums discussing similar flights. Different airlines, different countries, same crying, same handprints, always on overnight flights, always above the passengers, always vanishing before landing. I don't know what it was, but I know it wasn't human, and I know it didn't want to be alone. So now I ask you, if you heard a baby crying with no baby in sight, what would you do? Would you stay seated and pretend it wasn't happening? Or would you open the compartment and risk what's inside? Because some sounds don't come from lungs, some cries don't belong to the living, and some passengers don't appear on the manifest. If this story sent chills down your spine, there are many more like it. True feeling stories whispered by travelers who never sleep on planes again. If you want to hear them, subscribe to this channel right now. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next nightmare. Drop a comment telling me what you think that baby was. And remember, next time you fly at night and the cabin is quiet and you hear crying above you, don't look up, because it might already be looking down at you.